Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial that is gonna be connected to SQL Server 2022. In my first video I'm gonna show you how you can install a standalone SQL Server 2022 with additional features, and in next videos I'm gonna show you different kind of options that you can use. So I guess I'm just gonna call this tutorial everything you wanted to know about SQL 2022 but you didn't have the chance to ask about. Okay, so first of all let's start with the standalone installation, because as you know, you can have a standalone install, and we have also other options available. We can also install SQL Server reporting services as well. So we can install management tools, or we can install SQL Server data tools, and we can upgrade from a previous version of SQL. Okay, so we're gonna go with the standalone installation. Okay, let me just check if I actually I'm gonna provide a SQL Server standard license. Okay, so the license has been provided. We're gonna accept the arrangements. Okay, so first of all, Microsoft updates. If you don't want to get any updates that you are not willing to actually install with SQL, you shouldn't be using this option. Many people use this option. On default, they just check it. And of course, immediately you're connected to Microsoft and you're downloading all the updates. I suggest not taking this option, leaving it on default as it is right now, and downloading your own updates from SQL and reading about them, what they actually do before you install them. So if you check this option, you might have quite a lot of unnecessary problems that you didn't want. Okay, so we're gonna go next. Okay, so in this window we are going to be actually installing basic components. So we're going to install database engine services. We're going to install also a SQL Server application. We're going to install full text and semantic extraction for search. I'm not going to install data quality services. That's going to be another video. I'm going to install analysis services. I'm not also going to install data quality client. This is going to be another video as well. So for now we're gonna just install those. As you can see here, you have the instance root directory. If you have another disk provided on the local machine where you're installing, you can always change the paths, and you can put the paths on the secondary disk if you wish. I made it a little bit differently, so if we go to my disk space, as you can see, I made another disk space that is going to be for SQL backups and logs only. Okay, so here we have our instance. You can either leave your default instance name, or you can just change the instance name if you wish. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna change it. Let's say I'm gonna call it SQL. Okay. Now we have all the required services. So we got a SQL Server agent, so the basic agent for SQL. I'm gonna change it to automatic, but sometimes after install it doesn't come up on its own. So it's better to put it on automatic. Of course, if it goes to all those accounts, you can change those accounts if the computer that you are installing SQL is in the main. You will probably use different kind of accounts for those services. Of course, if I had those accounts here, I would just pick them, but immediately I would need to insert the passwords for those accounts. So bear in mind, if you have different kind of accounts for your SQL prepared and you joined the domain, you're gonna change those accounts. You're gonna have to input all the passwords here. Okay, SQL full text filter daemon launcher, that's gonna be on manual. Everything else is on automatic. Next thing what we have here is maybe let's see, collation. Okay, so as you can see, the default collation from here is SQL routine. This is the basic one that is always picked when you're installing. If you want to customize it or change it, you can change it here to a different one. Usually it's used with the basic collation settings. Okay, authentication mode. If you choose Windows authentication mode here, you won't be able to actually create users in SQL. So I'm gonna choose mixed mode, and I'm gonna provide some kind of password of my own. As well, we need to add a user here that is gonna be specified for the server. I'm gonna add the current user. That's a user that I have actually created for the purposes of this install. Data directories. So here we have our data directories. We have system database directory, user database log directory, and backup directory. So if it goes to log and backup directory, I wanted to put those two directories on a second disk space, just because they can be quite extensive, especially the backups. So I don't want to put them on the same disk that I'm putting all the installation, all the main install. So let's just change it. Maybe I'm gonna call it like this. Let's copy, and I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call it MySQL, and here we're gonna put here two folders. One of them is gonna be called data, and the second one is gonna be called backup. Alright, so now we can actually change it. Okay, data and backup. Maybe actually I should call it logs. Okay, maybe let's go to data, and we're gonna create one more folder. Let's call it logs. It's gonna be sufficient, I think. Okay, So that's the data directories. We got tempdb. So to be honest, tempdb should be also placed on a different kind of location. Shouldn't be stored on the same machine, in the same place. So maybe I'm just gonna let's change this one. Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL data. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough space because I have only 40 gigs here for everything. So for now I'm just gonna leave it on default, but to be honest it should be also placed in a different on a different disk. Okay, we got memory here. That's file stream. If you need to enable it, it's here. Now we can proceed. We're gonna choose multi-dimensional mode. Gonna add the current user here as well, because that was actually the analysis services. That was the feature configuration. Okay, now we have all the things regarding our configuration. If you want to check them out, they are in the config file that can be actually found here. So if we go, as you can see, it's right here, open. Here's the file with all the choices that you made, and now we can install. I'm gonna pause the video until it finishes, and I'm gonna go back when it's done. Alright, so as you can see, the installation has been completed, and it's quite important to actually check if you have all the successes here. So all the services that we wanted to install and all the features have been installed successfully. So one more thing that we need to do after the install of SQL is completed, we need to actually install one more feature, which is going to be management tools. So we're going to install management tools. Okay, it's going to take a moment as well, so once it's done I'm gonna show you how our database looks now. Okay, so we're back. Since I restart was necessary to complete the installation. Now we have our SQL Server Management Studio. We can connect here and our database should be visible. And there we go. This is our main install. And our SQL Server agent is running as well. Okay, so once again, like and subscribe. I hope you will follow this new series, and hopefully it will be quite a good one. So as always, share everything and see you in the next one.